Good morning. Welcome to the space between ideas. I'm Blank Gates. We are thick in the thin of things. Uh, I don't know what's happening exactly. What is happening? Um, well, yesterday I had a little chat with what was it called? Replit. So because they just kept trying to charge my credit card, I found this thing called temporary pause on my credit card, and I just love this temporary pause feature where you just push temporary pause and then nobody can charge anything. It happened because I got an email from somebody. They sent me a message and they're like, "Oh, we just charged your credit card." And I was like, "No, you didn't." And they're like, "Yeah, we did. Go ahead and click this button." It's like, "Oh no, what's going on?" And it was actually the first time because I use Gmail and I've never got this kind of phishing. I guess they're called phishing emails. So I never got this kind of phishing email before. And it freaked me out. So I just sent a message over to the bank, and then the bank is like, "Well, let me see the email." And then I sent them the email, and they're like, "Okay, well, we don't have this charge in your account, and this is actually." And then I copied and pasted like all the content into Google Gemini, and it's like, "Yeah, this is a well-known scam, and just be careful." So then I found a temporary pause button on my credit card. So Replit, they've been trying to charge me. What happens is they actually give you the credits for the next month of your subscription, even if they haven't got the money yet, and you can actually use it to some extent. Um, they did pause my account for just a little bit, but it wasn't because of the credits. It was because of some additional charges. I guess people were starting to use my app, and then when people were clicking stuff, then it starts to create charges. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work when it's time to actually make my website live. Um, fine. Now, so what we've been doing the last couple of days, let me just, I'm just going to check the audio while I'm talking. What we've been doing the last couple of days is we have been trying a couple of two different pieces of the website. So we have the piece of the website which is the home page, and then we have the piece of the website which is the app, the actual software that I'm trying to get to work. And so after the software, after hmm, what happened actually? So after I tried to migrate these two different pieces of software together, um, then I found out that one of the pieces of software was a React app, and the other one was JavaScript. So apparently that's a problem. Anyways, it decided it wanted to rewrite the entire app. Oh no, it's telling me I got to restart to update my. Okay, restart my Windsurf. Okay, so let's share the entire screen so you can see what's going on. If you're new to the process, then you know that basically what I do is I'm using Gemini's sphere reasoning skills. It's like if we look at the different benchmarks, the Gemini is at a higher level, the highest level for reasoning. And this is not the one I want. And Windsurf and Claude Sonnet, entire screen. Here it is. Let me just check to see if you guys can see that. Yes, you can see that. All right, so here is my Gemini. Here's my Windsurf. And I think we're on this one. Good. So you can see here that I'm using the Claude, hide this. I'm using the Claude Sonnet 4. The only problem with Claude Sonnet 4 is it uses twice as many credits. So I decided to buy extra credits. Um, Today's the last day of my, um, you can see here. So this is the last day of my billing cycle. I used all 500 credits. Now I've used 34 of my 250 additional credits. This is obviously more expensive than Replit because Replit is $25 and Windsurf is $15. All right, so this was 15 right here, and then this was another 10. So it sounds like it's the same, 25 and 25. Uh-oh, except that when the Replit agent, well, the Replit has an agent and it has an assistant. The assistant is 5 cents per request, and the Claude Sonnet 4 is 10 cents. So actually, if you're using Claude Sonnet 4, and if you add an additional 10 credits, $10 to your thing. Okay, that math doesn't work actually. Never mind. But anyways, it's more expensive when you're using Claude Sonnet 4. Verify bootstrap JavaScript integration. Um, Now sometimes I don't know if it's like, is this uh, correct advice from the architect? So sometimes I don't know if Gemini is actually giving good advice or not. Yes, the architect's diagnosis is absolutely correct. This is X's analysis, the root cause. So I don't understand why we're going back to JavaScript. But that's my style. This is my coding style. My coding style is called AI first. It means that the first thing I do is I feed. Here's my. So right now we're working on the product, and we have these 5 calibration documents. We use these 5 calibration documents in order to, we just copy and paste. It's like 25 pages basically. And the 25 pages, they've changed over time. So as we develop the application, then we update these documents. And then every time we start a new AI instance, then we have a new set of documents. So I think I'm using the reasoning model, pretty sure, because there's a check mark down here. This one is called free 7. So it means I've been through 7 different instances of Gemini. And what I do is I just use, like, once I get close to the 1 million token context window, I can always sense when it's starting to go off the rails. And it just doesn't, it's not as crisp. It doesn't answer things. Like right now, you can see it's like very specific. It's working like very focused. Everything seems to be working. And then at some point, sometimes it's going to be like, it's going to stop working. It's just going to start getting a little bit loose. Anyways, what I'm basically trying to do here, I don't think I could even show it to you right now. Can I show it to you? No, I can't. What are you doing, Gordon B? Hmm? This guy's a mess. So I don't know what to say. I'm just kind of like, I'm just in the middle of like going back and forth and back and forth. There's nothing really to show you. Oh, almost. We almost got to show you something. Anyways, I'm having like crazy issues with testing environments. According to the SLAD, we need to start both the backend and the front end servers before running tests. Let me start the servers first. All right, so as you can see, the SLAD, so this is the OMLD. Here it is. Here's the SLAD. So the system logic and architecture document. Apparently somewhere in here, you can see here, so file structure manifest, data model, data scheme, core component and logic breakdown, logical development, testing workflow, testing architecture, navigation suite tests, entry tests, deployment architecture, journey module architecture, module completion flow, implementation status summary. You see, this is the kind of stuff it's been building this over time. Like I ask it to update it, and it's a process that, geez. So now, okay, so now you can see Google Chrome for testing. So now what happens, Surf, is back in the day, like a month ago, like a month ago, you used to have to copy and paste that screen, and then you'd put it back into Windsurf. But now it can just do it automatically because it has its own testing screen. So you can see here, I see the tests are now connecting to the server, no more connection, refused errors, but the task list page component elements are not being found. The issue appears to be the page is loading, but the task list page component isn't rendering properly. Let me update the plan with our current progress. So now Windsurf, every single time it wants to do something, will always create one of these plans, and then it'll go one by one through the plan, and then it'll start working. So those are two major updates, which is the ability for it to create and complete plans. Now, my Windsurf and Cascade work a little bit different than yours do, because as you can see, it likes. Would you like me to investigate the routing configuration component rendering to resolve the why the task list page elements aren't appearing to test the environment? So my Cascade is a little bit more slow when it comes to um, dealing with issues because there's things in my calibration documents that make it go slower, and it has to check with things. It's like a process, a working process that it has to stop and check with Gemini, who's the architect. So they go back and forth, and they make decisions together, which obviously it's much more expensive because I'm using more tokens to do that kind of thing. But the thing is, I had so many problems over the last couple of months of coding that I've developed these protocols to make sure that things go like have the highest possibility of success. And that means using more tokens. It's more costly. But I mean, the thing is, like, if we're talking about, so this month you can see I spent an extra $10 for extra credits, which is what, uh 30 cents a day, basically. Yeah, it's 30 cents a day. So like it's kind of like inconsequential. See, I can't even copy that anymore. Now, I feel like maybe Gemini wants to join the conversation about this because it's starting to have some problems here. I don't believe that. But the thing is, like, I mean, what am I supposed to diagnose this? So Claude Code is supposed to be like the most powerful coding uh, AI available right now. It's inside of the code. It wrote most of the code. It has the ability to self-correct. It writes tests. It does everything. And then Gemini is supposed to be the best reasoning model. I gave it all of the data. It also has a pretty strong ability to do coding tasks. I mean, like, this is crazy. It's doing a test. It's actually writing it. It's actually trying to add a. See that? It tried to write. That was crazy. Anyways, you can see the page still doesn't even look at all like what it's supposed to look like. So what I'm going to do is, uh, let's see if what's going on with my. So you can see the Replit. It gave me the tokens 0.02 used to 25. I asked them to close my account. I think somebody's. Nah, I don't know what's happening. Anyways, you could see they weren't able to charge my credit card. Let's just not go into Replit for now. All right. Anyways, I got a meeting, so I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. I don't really know what the solution is here. I'm just gonna keep working in the background, and hopefully at some point it'll start to work. Maybe tomorrow. Anyways, tomorrow's a big day because we're gonna find out if these extra credits are gonna work if I don't have a subscription. Because tomorrow I will not have a subscription when I wake up in the morning, but I'm still gonna have these credits. So we're gonna be able to see if I still have access to the credits I purchased, even if I don't have a subscription. If it doesn't work, it's fine. I'll still buy the subscription so we can keep going. But I'm just curious to know if it's actually an issue or not. Anyways, I gotta go turn off my alarm, and I'm just gonna keep on going back and forth between these two AI agents, and hopefully at some point we're gonna have a fixed task list. Bye bye.